Hello, everyone. I am your host, Shashi, with you all on Women Dialogues. To create more voice for women and by women. As you know, we try to bring different stories and different knowledge and different wisdom by bringing different sectors and different kind of experiences those women have gained in their field. And in the same way, today's our guest is connecting with us from Venice, Italy, and she's originally from India, Dr. Supriya Sharma. She is customer experience alchemist, management consultant, leadership coach, and author. She has written lots of books, but her famous work is A Cup of Success. She is keynote speaker. Along with that, she has deep passion for investing. So she is investor for startup technology and sustainability. As you can see how multidimensional and she is having experience in her work. So why not to listen from her? Why not to learn from her? So let's welcome our today's speaker, Dr. Supriya. Dr. Supriya, welcome on Global Women Dialogue Talk Show.
Hi, Dr. Shashi. It's a pleasure for me to be on Women Dialogues platform today. I have been listening to your talk shows on YouTube, and I'm so glad that I'm here personally today. Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you that you found our work and you found it's great. And we are really happy to be connected with you, and especially when we are seeing such multidimensional and such personality who has worked in so many fields and who is ready to share her knowledge and her wisdom with our audience. So let's start talking about you, Dr. Supriya, as we are seeing you are having such a wide array of your experiences and work. What way you grew up, what kind of things you had in your childhood, how you find these multidimensional approach, or what way all your childhood experiences help you to become that. uh, Please share with us.
Interesting. I like the way you start from childhood because it is during childhood that we gain a number of experiences and the conditioning that we gain from our family, our friends, our relatives, and the environment that we actually grow up in, whether it's about our school, our friends, our teachers. And you would agree with me, during childhood, teachers are the persons we actually listen to. If mom tells us something at home, that okay, you should not do like this and you should do like that, we might not listen, but when a teacher says the same thing, yes, it makes a difference. So about me, I grew up in a number of places, both within and outside India, and changing schools frequently. Like I was changing my schools every 2 years, let's say, sometimes even before that. So changing the schools frequently and getting myself to accustom to a different culture, to different people, and different kids, different classmates, different kinds of teachers. That is what probably ingrained in me a quality to always look out for change. And when I say change, I'm always referring to the positive part of it, because for me, change is always positive, change is always for good, and it brings the best in you, because progress also begins when you step out of your comfort zone. As long as you're staying in the same place, staying with the same kind of people who think similarly like you do, who do things similarly like you do, and you are not availing the opportunity of being a diverse person or being in a diverse environment, then it's not possible for someone to step out of their comfort zone or to do things which they have never done, or to be innovative, or to be creative, or even to bring out the best in themselves. So sometimes it is by the virtue of the people that we interact with. And since you mentioned childhood, again, I would go back to the teachers and the parents who make a lot of difference when you are growing up as a child. So it is about having an array, having a rainbow actually of different cultures and different people in your life that helps you learn a lot, that helps you bring that novelty in your life. And it's probably, again, because of the way I grew up. I'll share something very typical about me. Every day, I want something new. I want to be doing something new. even if it's a small thing that I have never done before. So that kind of novelty is what I crave for. And the day when I am not able to take out time for that kind of a novel thing, even if it's just 2 minutes, then I don't feel too energetic at the end of the day, or I don't feel that I have achieved something. So achievement is not always about awards and accolades for me. It's about discovering something new about myself, getting to know a new dimension of me. So for me, again, if I have to bring your question to a conclusion in a nutshell, it is about diversity and getting yourself included in that diversity, not waiting for other people to include you, as we talk of inclusion and diversity so much these days. But yes, putting your foot forward to say, yes, I am here to be included of this diverse panel. So that's what I would want to say about this.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. It totally shows how you created this diversified your, this rainbow career and rainbow way, your personality, I will say. So when we talk about your personality, your career, you are also, as you customer experience uh, related things which we are saying about the customer experience alchemist, what it is all about, and what kind of work we can bring to our audience, how they can get benefit out of this your expertise.
So I'll start with two things. One, in business, people say that, or the business experts or the gurus who we call, they say you have to be going into a particular direction. You have to be providing a particular service which is very specific to your skills, or which is very specific to your expertise. So that is when I say I bring to the table professionally a series of customer experience strategies that can help you as a business to grow to the next level, something that makes your customers come back to you time and again and not letting them go anywhere else. And it's all about creating memorable experiences. And I said I would start with two things. The other thing is, and that is the philosophy that I believe in, that every aspect, whether you study it in your school, college, whether it's to do with technical aspect or managerial aspect, any aspect can be applied to your personal life as well. That's how I feel. And coming to customer experience, what I want to share here is a customer need not necessarily mean a person who is patronizing you or a person who you're selling your products and services to. A customer simply means any person that you're interacting with in your daily life. It could be your kids, it could be your spouse, it could be your parents, it could be your house help, it could be your colleagues, it could be anybody that you're interacting with. Whether you're working in an office or you're not working in an office hardly makes a difference. And the whole idea here is to create magical experiences. That's my vision. My vision is to illuminate the world with magical experiences. So whether professionally or personally, anybody you meet, anybody you interact with, should be able to leave a person with an experience which is memorable and makes the person feel special. So that's about creating magical experiences. And I do it professionally and I do it personally with the people that I meet.
Right. So, Dr. Supriya, that's really, I will say, magical with the way you are sharing your customer experience work, that you create memories or a magical experience for them, and you bring here that they have, we as a we all, we should feel each time that whether we are talking to our own personal level and our one-to-one family, our children, and you find that creating memories, and there we feel yes we need to do. But do you feel the approach should be same or something different, because emotional coefficient, emotional level are different with dealing with professionally and versus dealing personally, when you are creating these magical and movement or memories?
Absolutely. Thanks for pointing that out. And that's a very valid question, because you would agree you don't wear the same dress to a birthday party and you don't wear the same dress to your office, right?
Right,
You
yeah,
change
yeah.
based on the circumstances and where you're going.
Right.
So, this quotient of vulnerability, actually, I would want to use the word, because vulnerability is something which people are not very clear about.
Mhm.
Sometimes when we are told that as a conditioning coming from the past or the historical background we've all grown up in, we are told, okay, in your official environment, or in your office with your colleagues, you shouldn't show your emotions too much. You should control yourself. You should speak in a particular manner. And this is what you should be saying. This is what you shouldn't be saying, which is correct. 100% makes sense. And then these days, you have leadership coaches who are proposing the idea of vulnerability, especially in the senior leadership positions. They ask you to be vulnerable. Okay, show up your emotions with your colleagues, even with the people down the line. Then how do you take care of that? That's what came to my mind when you asked this question, that where do we draw a line? Where do we know that this is the sweet spot where we can exist in a proper fashion as to how vulnerable we should be in a particular situation? And again, the answer goes back to your personality, who you are as a person, and what works for you in the environment you are. Because
Mhm.
vulnerability doesn't mean that showing your entire basket as to what it contains.
Mhm.
Again, it has to be very situational, and you should know as a person what is to be said and where it has to be said. What is the correct time to be saying something? So that happens in the official scenario. And of
Mhm.
course, when we are at home with family and friends, there's a different kind of comfort level we feel, or there's a different kind of interaction we go through. So absolutely, it is about your personality, your authentic personality, not what the world expects you to be, or not the way you are expected to behave in a particular fashion. It's about
Right.
your authentic personality as to how you want to present yourself. And
Yeah.
especially as females, we are judged so often.
Mhm.
We are judged so often for wearing what we are wearing, for speaking the way we are speaking, for holding our cutlery the way we are eating. So we are judged so often. I don't know why. Probably there's something special in women that everybody is judging women, regardless of the age and regardless of the caste and religion or whatever country you're coming from. Women are judged so often. So my message here is especially to all the women who are watching us or listening to us or who are a part of our community. Please be your authentic self. If we were to be making people happy around us, then we would
Mhm.
be better selling off ice cream, right? And we are not selling ice cream here. It's about making ourselves happy. It's about self love. It's about loving yourself and being confident in your authentic self. Once you have taken
Right.
care of that, the world will automatically accept you. So
Mhm.
there's no straight line drawn, as in, okay, this is how you should behave and this is how you shouldn't behave. It's totally up to you. As long as you are being ethical, you're fine.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, so here when we are talking about, and we can get this glimpse of your other work, which you are working as a keynote speaker, and you give your speech at many places, and you wrote a very beautiful book, A Cup of Success, and we can feel that glimpse. How about that, bringing back your work which you have done, and it's a great success, as a book form it came out. Would you like to share what it is all about, and how our audience can avail that?
Sure. So it's a cup of success. Growing up in India for a part, and yes, coming from an Indian family, uh, tea is very popular in India. So everybody wants a cup of tea, probably in the morning, in the afternoon, evening, night. Everybody wants a cup of tea almost all the time. I
Yeah.
am not a fan of tea, so it's not my cup of tea, anyways. I don't drink tea at all. That's a different aspect of my personality.
You
But
put
yes,
you
okay.
put in a cup different thing, I can say that, but it's still you follow the cup because it's a part of culture.
Yeah, so that's where I thought of this title from. Okay, this book is about being successful. And when I say being successful, I am not referring to Mark Zuckerberg or the founder of Tesla or Lambani. I'm not referring to those big names who've made big bank accounts and great presence for their companies on a global scale. I am
Mhm.
referring to people like me and people like you,
Mhm.
people in general, everyday people, the people next door. So, what does
Mhm.
success mean to us? So, being successful doesn't mean to have a fat bank account or to have a glamorous life, the life of a celebrity, being on TV or being on a different show every day. It's all about your satisfaction, your fulfillment, because success will have a different definition. You will have a different definition of success. I will have a different definition of success, and somebody else will have a different definition, right?
Right.
So there is no standard, there's nothing cast in stone that success is blah, 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 blah. No, success is what success means to you. And to you, what success should mean is what gives you fulfillment. It could be anything. It could be getting that particular job. It could be attaining a particular spiritual level. It could be attaining some education that you've been looking for. Success could be anything. Now, these are just objectives, or these are just the paths to success. But success would ultimately be fulfillment. What makes you feel fulfilled? At the end of the day, you feel, okay, Supriya, you have done something. You're worth. What is it that makes you feel like that? So it's not to be compared with all the great people that we look up to. For sure, it's a wonderful idea to be learning from their lives and from their successes and from their businesses, how they've built them up. But at the same time, you are you and you are unique. You are not to be compared with anyone around the world. You
Right.
were born to be you. And that's when I say, define your success in your fashion. And the book is about success is meant for everyone. So coming back to the point, you do not have to be a big personality, damn famous to be called successful. You are successful
Right.
in your own way. And that was the whole idea of this book, telling people that please stop comparing yourself and be successful in your own way. Success is meant for you, regardless of who you are and where you come from, what have you gone
Right.
through in your life, and what you will be going through in your life. So
Right.
that was the gist of the book.
So
And it,
I think if hearing this, it seems like very interesting book and very inspirational and motivational book. How our audience can find book? Is it available on Amazon, or do we have link which we can share in our description? How they can find that?
Sure, we could share the link in the description as well. And at the same time, if you go to Amazon and you search for Supriya Sharma, you will be able to find the whole array of books. And who knows, there's something that probably might instigate something in you and ignite you to do something better. Because at the end of the day, we are all learning from each other.
Right. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, as our audience can hear, she is having lots of other books as well, where we just discussed one book, A Cup of Success. You can find all other different books along with this book on Amazon, as well as we'll put the link. Moving ahead, Dr. Supriya, you are management consultant, and you work with for consultancy with management, these companies and corporates. How what kind of work, how you define your work in this area as well?
So my first job was at the age of 20. So I'm an aerospace engineer by my first degree. And why did I actually choose aerospace engineering? Because like every child, I was so excited. Okay, what makes airplanes fly? And why can't I fly? What stops me from flying? While I still have this, after studying all the technicalities, I still feel that there should be something that should make me or enable me to fly also. But let's keep it aside for some different time. So growing up or studying aerospace engineering, coming from that technical bent of mine, I followed management. I studied at IIM Udaipur. So IIMs are the Ivy League institutions, management institutions in India. And then I progressed my MBA at the University of Iowa in the United States, followed by a PhD in entrepreneurship and innovation at a Swiss School of Business and Management in Switzerland. So that was the whole progression. And when did I actually enter the corporate world? It was at the age of 20. And Dr. Shashi, again, coming back to the topic of women, which is probably, you would call me a feminist if you would want to. But at the age of 21, I was into a role, I was dealing with the business strategy, and I was into a role where I was to be a part of that boardroom, which had men of experience more than my age and huge, humongous knowledge actually. And I was lacking both in experience. Come on, at the age of 21, what kind of knowledge and experience do you expect me to have? So that was when I saw myself really growing and really understanding what leadership is, because being in that boardroom consisting of such well-established men of repute, and I existing, for me to exist in amongst those creative people, there was something that I really had to develop, and that was about leadership, being uh, being confident and being assertive of what I want to say, regardless of what I knew. Now, when I say this, I don't mean that whether you know something or not, you should speak up. No, I am not advocating that, but the whole idea is what you know should be spoken with confidence. Whether the other person agrees to it or they don't agree to it, it's totally up to their wish. Accepting it is totally up to their wish. But then you should be confident and assertive when you are speaking. So at the age of 21, when I found myself in that scenario, every day was full of learning. And I'm not saying I'm a super woman and I never felt scared. I did. Of course, I did. And every day I was like, okay, should I still continue in that job? And every morning, probably, I was, oh, okay, I will have to be there. What should I speak? What should I not speak? What will they think if I speak something wrong? And especially being young is one part of it, but then being a woman is another part of it, because people have some misconceptions already about women. So being young and being a woman in those kind of leadership roles among those kind of people is what taught me the real essence of leadership. That when we talk to women and we talk about leadership with women, we say, okay, leadership is more of the masculine qualities, but then we forget about those feminine qualities of empathy and of understanding that are required as a leader in a business that you are. So I shared that particular experience of mine because that was where I started, and followed by being a management consultant and helping these corporates formulate and implement their business strategy. Because you might be having a great product, you might be having the best service, you might be the most qualified person in town, but then what is it that will make your business work? It is the strategy. If your vision is missing, if your mission is missing, if you do not have a clear plan of action, then all that products and services and your talent and skill that you have might not work for you. So your vision has to be clear. Where is it that you want to get, and how is it that you are going to get there? So that is what business strategy does. And we do this by especially focusing on customer experience, because in any kind of professional world, if you are, even if you're not working, you would understand how important a customer is. Everything has to do with a customer. Every business, every economy runs with a customer. Now, when I say customer here, I mean somebody who is buying your products and services. Without a customer, there is no business. What are we here for? We are here for customers, whatever business we are into. So our business strategy focuses on creating experiences for customers, the way we design our business, the way we design our teams, whether they're global teams or local teams, the vision and the missions. Everything should be so well aligned that it focuses on your customer, having a customer-centric culture. That's what we strategize in. And when you're taking care of that, you are taking care of the triple bottom line. You are taking care of your business in terms of profits, in terms of retaining your customers, in terms of having a good environmental impact. And that is what we are here for. Business is one aspect, but then sustainability is another aspect of whatever we are doing. So that's
So,
what we help companies.
so Dr. Supriya, when we are talking about that, you help business to give them that vision, that strategy, that and all those tools as required to become them successful. Here we are talking about women; those are having maybe their small business or their startups, or maybe have the vision to just to start doing something. What kind of advice or suggestion would you like to give to them?
Now, there are two, three major reasons why people become entrepreneurs. Okay, one is that we lose our jobs for some reason or the other. Two, we move to a different geographical location and we are not able to find a job that satisfies our hunger, our passion, and then we start a business. Or three, just because my friend started a business, so I should also start a business. So those are a few reasons as women that we tend to, start a business. But the point that I would want to put across here is when you're starting something, however small it may be, you might be starting from your room, you might be starting from your kitchen, or you might be starting from your office, who knows? But wherever you're starting from, however small you are, or however big you are, probably, what's important is knowing your why. Why are you doing it? Because a number of businesses, 9 out of 10 businesses fail in their first year of starting. So what is it that will keep you going? What is it that will fuel you, that will give you the energy even when things are not going as per your wish? Because things do go south as an entrepreneur. We all understand that. And what helps is knowing your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you into this particular business? Why did you start your business? And this is what will help you even when you are not facing the success and the profits that you envision for yourself. Because it will take time. We need to agree that there's no quick fix to this. You don't become a successful entrepreneur overnight. It happens with time. So it takes time. And what will help you sustain, what will help you be determined, what will help you exist there is knowing your why. You should know very well why did you start particular thing. And to all my friends who are listening here and to all who are a part of community, the only difference between failing and winning is not quitting. So if you're starting something and you feel like you are on the verge of failing, or you're not getting the results that you'd envisioned or you'd expected for yourself, just remember you need to stay there. You need to tell yourself that you are not quitting. And when will you be able to do that? Only when you're very clear in your mind as to why did you start this. And that will lead you to winning or getting the results that you wanted for yourself.
Right. And it's a beautiful advice and it's beautiful suggestion why you started your business. Remember always that. And I would like to add one more thing. Just put it on your wall. So every time you remember your vision, every time when you're failing, you can see this is the thing and this is the purpose I started that. And it will keep giving you one as a small motivational dose. So I just would like to add some little word with Dr. Supriya as she's experienced. So along with that, moving ahead, Dr. Supriya, as you are creating paths for your own career success, along with that, you are helping many others. How you define your leadership style?
That's an interesting question. Um, okay, so initially, if you go back to your management books, probably 15 years back, you would find some typical 3 4 styles, like being aristocratic or being authoritative or being flexible or lenient. Those are the kinds of 3 4 standard leadership styles. But now if you refer to the leadership styles, you have nice words like authentic leadership, transformational leadership. My idea here is just to have your leadership style, which is a blend of all of these. Because there is no one fixed answer, because the same thing will not work for you all the time. You will want to, or you will need to rather, incorporate different leadership styles when you're in different situations. Leadership at home looks different than leadership at office. And leadership doing a community work or working for an NGO or a non-governmental organization looks different, right? Or if you're organizing a party for your friends, there also you require leadership, and the leadership there looks different. So you will need a blend of all these different kinds of leadership. Sometimes you would need to submit to the ideas of your followers as a leader also, but sometimes you would need to be really strong and just to take the decision on behalf of all of them. So it depends on the situation. But what doesn't change? What doesn't change are your core values. So your leadership style is based on your core values, who you are as a person, what are the things that you do not compromise on. For instance, if integrity means a lot to you and that is something you cannot ever compromise on, then that automatically becomes an integral component of your leadership style. So what you need to keep in mind going forward as a leader is what are your core values and what are your non-compromisables. And that you can always design or customize a leadership style which is very unique to you, because remember, you are made to be different, right? You do not have to fit in the cups that have been provided.
Yeah. Yeah, very well said, Dr. Supriya, about how what kind of leadership style and what way we can create our leadership style by finding our own core values. Moving ahead, when we talk about leadership style, we come up on uh, having such kind of conversation or talk shows. So, how you find these, like as a women dialogue talk show, or maybe other more, these are important or needed uh, in the in our work, in our growth as well.
See, if we go back in thousands of years of history from the age of early man, okay, we would realize what is the importance of society or what is the importance of people around us. Because the early man never used to live alone. They were always in groups. They were eating in groups. They were surviving in groups. They were moving in groups. And it is the same thing. Even though evolution has taken place and science has done wonders, we still, as humans, we crave that connection.
Mhm.
And platforms like Women Dialogues, and there are other platforms that actually motivate people to come and share their stories, and to the community members to be listening. And it's all about learning from each other, because who knows, there might be something in someone's story that might ignite you, that might inspire you to do something better. Because uh, the we all have substance within us, we all have substance within us, but what we sometimes need is a particular motivation, a particular ignition. The way the car starts, you push that button, the push button starts. So sometimes you need that someone to push that button for you. And who knows, by listening to your friends and fellows, and even the people who you don't know. For example, when I listen to such talk shows, I'm listening to so many people who I do not even know, and who come from such a different background that I am. And their lives are different from my lives. Their stories are different from my stories. And we are so very different. Different things work for us, but still there is something in someone's journey always that I take from, that I imbibe, and I learn from it. So personally it has helped me grow, and as a human being, since this connection, the quality of connection is so important to us, we all need to be connected, and not only connected on a small scale, to be connected on a wider scale. And imagine if you're sitting in some corner of the globe, you're sitting in Australia, or you're sitting in Canada, wherever you are, what is the medium to connect with people from such diverse backgrounds, people who think differently, people who grew up differently, people who are doing different things? This is the only medium, right? All we have is technology. You cannot be communicating from, I mean, you cannot be commuting from Canada to Australia to China and India. You cannot be going like this, because there are different things that we are doing. So technology is the only platform, and it's so wonderful that such talk shows are coming up and we are listening. Even if we are able to pay 10 minutes to such things, we are gaining something. There's nothing to lose.
Thank you. Thanks a lot to find the association and find the, such a beautiful definition from early human life to our present life, from early community life to our techno-savvy community life, and how we are creating meaning and developing each other, growing together is important for our life. So thank you, Dr. Supriya, for sharing your all wisdom, knowledge, and your work with all of us. Last, one thing, what message would you like to give to our audience or our listeners who are with us today?
There's something particular about human beings. We perceive everything differently, right? As people with different personalities, it's the same statement that's given to a number of people. And if you research, you will find they've all perceived the message differently. So my message here is, and perceive it in the right fashion, right? I say, ignite your spark. Okay, ignite your spark. And I literally mean, come on, take a matchstick and ignite your spark, because you are worth a lot more than you think. And who is responsible for bringing that out? It is you. Now, how you do it, it's totally based on you. What methods work for you, what methods don't work for you. But yes, my message is ignite your spark so you can be the best version of yourself.
Beautiful, beautiful, and I can feel that ignition in our talk, in our conversation, in our sharing our story, and all the way I can feel our audience might be feeling the same way, that ignition is coming all the way from our conversation to them, and they can continue the same ignition in their life by growing and developing. And if you're looking for something same, more ignition and more motivation, we all are bringing our beautiful speaker like today's our speaker, Dr. Supriya, who has shared her work with us. So please don't forget to join us with our next episode. And we are here to support and promote, to grow and develop. And with this same way, we will come next time, bring one more beautiful speaker who can share her knowledge and wisdom with us. Along with that, as I shared earlier, I'm going to put all the details about Dr. Supriya in the description. Please check this out. And if you are looking any kind of support, get back to her. She is there for you. And same time, don't forget, please share, subscribe, and like. Thank you. With this note, see you. Bye-bye.